What if you could watch a show that could teach you about a business and entrepreneurship on Netflix? Well, let me tell you that there is plenty of shows that can inspire you and help you in your business journey. Whether it be success stories or even just helpful documentaries, we got you covered. Because this video is all about the 5 best business shows ever. Anyways, let's dive right in. Number 1. Jiro Dreams of Sushi. This show is all about the journey of a 90-year-old entrepreneur that decided to take a leap into the business world and open a restaurant. It details all of the connections he made, and most importantly, he teaches what he learned along the way. Jiro is now a world-renowned cook, and it all stemmed from his once little restaurant in a subway station. This show teaches us that you don't need a lot of resources to make your dream happen, and overall it's a must-watch for anyone that's planning on starting a small local business. Number 2. Capital C. Capital C is a documentary that premiered in 2015 with the intention of showing the world the importance of crowdfunding, and how crowdfunding isn't only about what we think it is, money.
Alright. Here we go. One of the coolest things by far about the crowdfunding is that it really gave us the opportunity to launch something that we wouldn't have had before. Traditionally, you go to this business guy and be like, hey business guy, we're gonna take off our clothes and run around and act crazy. Do you wanna give us some money for this thing? And they'd be like, no, you guys are crazy. You get to throw it out there, and if you get accepted, then it's like, oh, we got a company. Oh, okay, what are we gonna do now?
This documentary goes into the lives of some entrepreneurs that had dreams to open their very own business, yet they did not have enough money to open it. And that was where crowdfunding began, and the documentaries go in depth on how and why crowdfunding changed their lives.
In crowdfunding, money isn't just money.
It's not about the object that you receive, it's about you actually making it happen.
What crowdfunding is, it's the cap on a long relationship where you've spent years creating work that resonates with people and that they can't live without.
So they go out on Facebook and they go on Twitter and they go blog about it and they go tell friends. And the end result is that amazing things happen.
And then finally...
Number 3. Inside Bill's Brain. Decoding Bill Gates. This show is just as the title describes it as. It is an in-depth, comprehensive documentary on Bill Gates. And of course, how he managed to build the massive empire that we know as Microsoft.
Bill Gates. What's your favorite animal?
Dog.
What's your favorite food?
Hamburger.
What do you eat for breakfast?
Nothing.
What is your worst fear?
I don't want my brain to stop working.
Bill is a multiprocessor. He'll be reading something else, but then processing at the same time. It's chaos. He thrives on complexity. He makes a framework in his mind, and then he starts slotting in the information.
If something doesn't line up, and he gets...
This documentary literally puts us inside of Bill's head and how his brain works, how he managed to turn Microsoft into the massive empire it is today. If you want to learn, why not learn from the best and give this documentary a watch? Number 4. Enron, the smartest guys in the room. This show is all about a company that was named Enron. Enron was worth over $70 billion when it went completely bankrupt. This show goes in depth into the reason why this company had such a fast decrease in sales and shows what a company shouldn't do.
It had taken Enron 16 years to go from about 10 billion of assets to 65 billion of assets. It took them 24 days to go bankrupt.
The fatal flaw at Enron was pride, arrogance, intolerance.
What money you guys stole from those poor grandmothers?
We can add a gazillion dollars to the bottom line.
All right, that sounds fantastic.
The documentary-style film shows the pride and arrogance of the people running Enron and how it made a company that was worth billions of dollars go extinct at the same speed that the dinosaurs did.
Did you convert stock worth $66 million?
I don't know.
I netted approximately $100 million.
Enron is a company that deals with everyone with absolute integrity.
Talking about my compensation, and if I step on somebody's throat on the way, that doubles it, well, I'll stomp on the guy's throat.
The other thing about people at Enron is a lot of them were former nerds. You wanted to be the most popular guy on Wall Street, and you were going to do whatever you had to do.
They sought out every loophole they could in order to profit.
The rules weren't quite.
Number 5. Minimalism, a documentary about the important things. This film is geared not to the seller, but rather to customers. The show is all about how we shouldn't be materialistic, and how any normal human should be able to live a perfectly fine life without worrying about material objects.
We spend so much time on the hunt, but nothing ever quite does it for us. And we get so wrapped up in the hunt that it kind of makes us miserable.
Black Friday shopping mania is still playing out tonight at malls across America.
High hopes of saving some big bucks on those holiday gifts.
Filled to the brim.
In some cases, it did turn violent.
We've, as a culture, have a lot.
The documentary talks about the minds of salesmen and how they want you to buy their items that you wouldn't even need, ever. It's as if you walked into a store hungry. You would end up buying more food than you originally planned to.
Our minds.
There's no question that what it means to have achieved the American dream has increased tremendously in material terms.
This is not something that just happened yesterday. This is something that has been sold to us over the past 100 years by those that want to make a whole lot of money.
Now that's what I call a good-looking car.
You have this thing that you were obsessed about, but then the new version comes out, and now you no longer care about the one you have. In fact, the one you have.
So as you can see, there are many shows that aspiring business people should definitely consider watching. These shows will give you a perspective that you shouldn't have gotten elsewhere. Sometimes, if you want to be like the best, you have to learn from the best. Anyway guys, we'll see you next time on Relevant TV.